if you want to be a good listing agent, you have to know when to ask the seller for a price reduction. So one of the questions agents ask me a lot is how long do I wait before I ask the seller to make a price reduction? There are many factors that can go into that question, but as a general rule of thumb, after 30 days, if you're marketing the property as it should be marketed and you haven't gotten any strong or reasonable offers on the property, it's likely that you need a price reduction on the property. So every 30 days, you should be evaluating and requesting for a price reduction if you have not gotten a strong offer on the property. There are times when you may not need a full 30 days. So for example, if you list a property and you feel it's overpriced from the start, so they want to list it for higher than what you recommended, then after 2 weeks, you can go back to the seller and say, hey, we tried it your way. We're not getting any offers. Let's reduce the price to what I originally recommended. Another scenario could be where you have to wait longer than 30 days. And a couple of scenarios where that would be the case is, number one, on a commercial listing, you may need a lot more than 30 days before you reduce the price. Or if you're listing a property that's on the high end of the price range in that market. So for example, you're in Bristol, the average sales price is $230,000 and you have a listing for $450,000. Listings on the high end of the price scale tend to take longer to sell. So you should plan for a price reduction after maybe closer to 45 or 60 days if you feel the property was priced appropriately when you started. Here's some tips for approaching the seller and for getting price reductions. Before you make the call to the seller, make sure you do your homework. Make sure you know exactly how many showings there's been on the property, exactly what the feedback has or hasn't been. Keep in mind the fact that there's no feedback pertaining to the price does not necessarily mean that the price is appropriate. Sometimes buyer's agents just don't want to enter that feedback, or the buyer doesn't even articulate that. But if there's no offers, then it's likely that the price is too high. Number two, make sure you do a good search in MLS to see if there's any new comparables since the time that you did your market analysis of properties that are either newly listed or newly closed that will support your suggestion that the price on this listing should be reduced. And number three, be aggressive in terms of what you ask the seller to do. So if you think the seller, there's no chance that they're going to reduce it by more than $10,000. It's listed for $189,900. You think best case scenario, they'll do $179,900. Ask them to do $174,900. Ask for a little bit more than what you're actually wanting or expecting. If you ask for more, sometimes the sellers will surprise you and agree to it, and then you're in better position to get the property sold. Or they'll go to the $179,900 and they feel like it's a win because they didn't have to come down as far as you recommended. Or they're going to say no altogether, and then at least you know that you were made a recommendation during the listing process that they did not follow, and you do not feel like it's on you when the property doesn't sell. Always ask for price reductions of at least $10,000. Don't mess around with $1,000, $4,000, $5,000. And you can always justify it by just saying people search in $10,000 increments. If you don't drop it by at least $10,000, we're going to be dealing with the same buyer pool. So make sure that you are aggressive in terms of what you ask for. Ask for at least $10,000, and you'll likely get something in the middle from what you're asking for.